Good evening, everyone. It's Sunday night, and just wanted to give you a few tickers that I'm looking at this week and a few due diligence work I've been doing. So here we go. Let's see. All right, we're gonna look at DGLY first. All right. So over the last week or so, we've seen this stock go up because of the civil unrest in Philadelphia and a couple of other incidents throughout the country. So on Wednesday, I believe Tuesday or Wednesday, this thing jumped up pretty good. We see two solid green bars here, and it's actually been going down since last two trading sessions. Now, what I do see here going into the election week next week, it's going to get crazy. I'm not going to get political, but either if Biden wins, there's going to be some civil unrest. If Trump wins, same idea here. So I expect that DGLY should be back on everybody's roadmap for next week, or at least on people's watch list. So we saw a kind of a interesting doji here. So this might be interesting to see how the Bears and the Bulls fight this one out for next week. But either way, I'm kind of, I have a short-term target. This may even go to the $3 area here. I know that the last couple of sessions, it actually went up to as high as 2.65. And on Thursday, it went to about 2.64, and so it got rejected there. So if there's a lot of violence going into next week in the election week, it should get pretty interesting here. All right, I want to bring your attention to Leaf. If you guys never heard of Leaf Group, it's here on my screen as well. Right now it's sitting at 5.70. If I go over to the daily chart, look how much this stock has risen since the COVID. All right, since COVID hit, it was down to about $1, and the high recently was 7.45. All right, and you got a little gap fill right here as well. So what brought this attention to me was that they had a shareholder activist shareholder. They sent out a letter to encourage the company to change its course. So there might be a little traction here. All right, so it's aftermarket. You see it went up 20 cents or 3.51 on Friday. All right, so keep your eye out on LEAF. All right, let's go to LQDA, Liquidia. If you guys haven't seen all the posts about it, I really like this stock. All right, let's hop over to why I'm pretty excited about this particular one. Number one, they were originally proposing to merge since June with RareGen. But since October October 19th, they actually um, put an end, or not put an end, but postponed the special meeting of stockholders. And in addition to that, they received an unsolicited offer, which they don't mention who the offer was from. Um, this whatever company wants to license their LIQ 861, which is their lead drug candidate, and they're going to be considering this proposal. Now, I actually read this as in it's got to be substantial enough for them to step away or step back from their transaction with RareGen. All right, and they're going to see if it's going to be a superior proposal. And the condition here is that if they accept the superior proposal, they will have to cancel their merger plan. So this stock was at $12. All right, $12 back in June, and it's been slipping ever since. And we see a hard bounce off here at 2.8 level, and the volume's been coming in ever since then. So it's been on a nice rip. Slight pullbacks here and there. But I am definitely still keeping my eye on this one. I'm in long on this one, but I want to see how this transaction actually unfolds. All right, so with that being said, let's go to OSUR. If you guys haven't heard about this one, they actually develop in-home testing kits for COVID. And there are several other brands are going on sale at Costco. All right, so this particular company was at nearly $20 high in August over the summer, and they had a huge gap down, all right, back in October 6th, it looks like. All right, so just from the chart, just by looking at the chart without the DD and all that, you're looking at a resistance are at 16.7 and $18 and all nearly the $18 level. If I go to their website, you can see here they're developing their rapid in-home COVID antigen self-test. So I got to dig into this one a little bit more. They might be applying for Emergency Use Act on this one. So this one, like I said, man, it's a $19 stock, and it's taken a nasty dip ever since then. But we see that it's steady, and it's coming back to that $19 level. Could be enough reward versus risk here. All right, let's go to TCDA. I talked about this since last Wednesday or Thursday. I got in and it jumped up 28%, nearly 30% on Friday trading session. Very nice solid bounce. Now I'm going to hop over to their website. Now the reason for them tanking over the last several months is because of their PDUFA. There's no PDUFA. Sorry, that's another one. They actually received a pretty negative result from the FDA. But what they're going to do is they're waiting for formal meeting minutes from the FDA for the end of review type A meeting notes, okay, to determine how to proceed with obtaining regulatory approval for their drug candidate. So they're going to be receiving the formal minutes within 30 days of the meeting. So with that being said, I'm keeping this one on a pretty long swing here because I know there's potential if we can. I mean, definitely once they receive some type of approval or nod to go ahead with their drug candidate, you can see this gap fill really quickly here. And we can kind of see it's already doing that right here. You see this nice gap from the fives, all right? Well, actually from this level 4 to about $7 to $8 level. And the next stop is 12 and potentially 15. Now, and also at the peak over the summer, the stock was literally $26. So pretty interesting risk versus reward ratio here. All right, with that being said, that's my watch list for this coming week. I'll be sure to send out other watch lists on Twitter. If you follow me there, definitely keep an eye out. And also for this coming week, I'm going to be changing my videos up a little bit. Without the daily summaries, I'm actually going to do videos on DD as well. And I will post videos the step-by-step wins that we have in day trading session, like pre-market, after hours, etc. So I'll be doing videos like that instead of like a regular daily summary video that might get redundant. All right. With that being said, have a great Sunday night, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right, so the first stock I'm going to be talking about here is FSR, Fisker. It is was recently SPAC. It had its merger and ticker change last Friday. It did have a nice squeeze. I anticipate a bigger squeeze is coming. It's still in a MACD sell zone. The F-Stow is curling up though, and it's out of oversold. So I mean, it's looking pretty good here. I do think that it'll head up to 12 or so to try to break this next downtrending resistance line next week. I think there's some tremendous value long term, so I do think that you should definitely take this stock into consideration next week. Next, I'm going to be talking about UVXY. It is a tool that we use in the market to trade implied volatility, or the VIX. So this thing's been running out very well with these bearish red market days that we've been having lately. I want to point out that on this 5-minute chart, when it did break this 200 EMA line here, it has run up very, very well. It did dip below towards the end of the week. It went below and it came back up above 200 EMA and it closed after hours above 200 EMA. So with next week with the election, I do think that there's going to be some volatility in the market, fear, uncertainty. So I do think that this is going to be a good tool to easily scalp 5 to 15% on a day if the market's confirmed to be a red day. So definitely watch it. So to finish up off that last point, I do want to talk about Bitcoin here. It's been doing very well as of late. The RSI is approaching overbought, so be mindful of that. But I just want to talk about this because it is, it's above its last peak here and it's above downtrending resistance. It's looking pretty good. It did touch 14K. So yeah, Bitcoin's looking pretty good. It's a safe haven to some. So I think with the election coming up, it will likely do pretty well next week. One tool that we like to trade these Bitcoin movements is Mara, a blockchain company that mines Bitcoin and Ethereum. Right now, it is in an uptrend. Still, it is looking to put in a higher low here. I do suspect that it will put in this higher low around the 100 MA line. So watch that. Be mindful of the sell zone. Watch the FSO curling up to be precursor to more buy pressure
Enjoy
coming in.
Halloween. Got enough candy to suffice. I'm just gonna go over some plays here. Um, so this is kind of my list going into next week. The only three plays that I'm holding really right now are HTBX, SETX, and DJLY. Uh, the latter two are riot and protest plays. With HCBX being a Operation Warp Speed, COVID vaccine, and then potentially a COVID testing play. It also has a TA on it that I really like, which is why the chart's over here. I'm going to kind of go through some technical analysis with it. So just kind of how do I do this? That's a really nice chart to kind of teach somebody on. But just going through, so I use the ultimate oscillator. I highly do not recommend using this for any trader who doesn't understand what this means. Um, but anyway, over 50 is shows a strong positive trend continuing. Over 30 is a oversold negative trend. 70 is a overbought type of indicator, and then obviously in between every which way. It is a lagging indicator, so that's really bad because you won't know what's actually happening until it has already happened. I use the full stochastics, and then I use PPO. PPO is pretty much the same thing as MACD, but it also ties in the price of the stock as well. So right here, and then I also, most of my favorite moving averages are 821, 50, and 200. The 200 moving day average is somewhere around 90 cents, so I didn't include it here. It doesn't really mean too much. Just kind of go over here. I'm just going to say that the 8-day moving average is at 117. The 21-day moving average is at 123. The 50-day moving average is at 124. Why does this matter? Because when you get that, usually when you get the 8-day moving average popping over the 21-day moving average, it shows that the last 8 days had a higher moving average than the last 21, which gives it a slight momentum and push, which this is close to happening. So you'll see a little bit of a spike after that. Now, how do you find the bottom? Well, I'm looking more towards the nice supportive candles. So I'm going to annotate this right here. There's also a nice free resource to use. That's kind of why I'm using it, so I can show everybody. So I'm going to insert a horizontal line, and I would say that would be the floor of this on any dramatic sell-off. I don't see it happening anytime soon on this stock, and I would definitely get out way before this. Um, but that would be the floor that's been established for a while. The stock is really nice because it's been in a long uptrend. seeing what it does, which is why it's on my watch list. Same thing, mentioning that 8-day cross over the 21. So this is what DSS saw. It saw the 8-day moving average pop over the 21, got that nice spike. Also, too, it had the 10Q filing. The 10Q filing showed that the company's financials were 4 times undervalued of what the current stock price is.